Hi, this is Chef Remy. Today I'm showing you basic biscuits, which means it only has 3 ingredients, this recipe. Why? Because sometimes you only have 3 ingredients, and why go to the store and buy those rolled up versions when you can do it readily at home? Here we go. We are going to use self-rising flour, whole milk, and shortening. And I'll show you some substitutes for these that are going to enhance the flavor. Now we'll need a 2-inch cookie cutter, a rolling pin. We'll also need a 1/4 cup and a 1 cup measure, a sifter for the flour, and a duster for the flour to be able to flour the boards and the rolling pins. Now let's start out with 2 cups of self-rising flour. We're going to sift it, and then we're going to pour the flour into a mixing bowl. Okay. Now we take a 1/4 cup of shortening, which, by the way, you know that you could use lard, or you could use buttered flavor shortening, or you could use bacon fat. And now that really would enhance the flavor if you use bacon fat. Okay, these are all suggestions I'm making. You see, sometimes you just don't have shortening, but you might have bacon. And that would be for the better. Okay, 3/4 cup of whole milk. Well, first, let's mix the flour and the shortening until it becomes kind of like little pebbles. And then we're going to go ahead and add the milk. And by the way, instead of milk, how about chicken broth? Or just add some chicken broth to the milk. Now that certainly would enhance the flavor. Now this is going to form a ball, and it'll do it all of a sudden. There you go. See it hanging on the hook there? You could have used a food processor, which would be a little quicker even. Now what we're looking for here is a 1/2 inch thick. It doesn't matter how big it is, you know, like a rectangle or a circle or whatever. The 1/2 inch is what we're looking for. And you'll want to grease the pan or dust it or spray it. Now here we are with a 2-inch cookie cutter, and try to stay with 2-inch cutters. And the 1/2 inch is going to give you your standard looking biscuits. And don't worry if you run out of dough there. You actually won't. With this recipe you'll wind up with 12, but you'll need to kind of roll it up into a ball and roll it out again, you know, just like I did there. You see, had to come up with more. And I'll show you another little trick here in a second, and this is going to be another type of cutter, like so. See, that's kind of neat, a little heart-shaped cutter. And I'm going to roll that up and make another one. There you go. Okay, now we should be getting our oven ready, and it's going to be 375 degrees. And it's going to be about 20 minutes, but you know, during those 20 minutes you're going to be wanting to check them and make sure you don't overcook them. Okay, 375 degrees on the nose, and let's go ahead and put them in, and we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes. Now some of the other ingredients you might want to put in there, in the flour you might want to put some dried dill or chives or sesame seed. You see what I mean? And if you didn't have any self-rising flour, you could use regular flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That would make them a little bit fluffier too. Okay, they're coming along pretty good, and we're just looking for the color and also how it smells too. Looks like we only have 4 minutes to go, and they're getting nice and brown. Okay, looking good. And you know, you could have used a little egg wash on top, you know, just kind of brush it on. That would make them look nice. Whoops, I hope that didn't startle you. Now let's just take one out at the risk of burning them, but we're going to just kind of check one and see how it butters up. Looks good. Smells good too. Okay, so let's go ahead and take them out. That looks fine. Now in some of my other recipes that I'm making in the future, I will have those ingredients and others that I haven't even mentioned yet to make some really nice, really fluffy and doughy biscuits. These, by the way, since they're so basic, if you let them sit out on the counter for a long time, they're going to turn into hockey pucks. Believe me, they will. Okay? You could take a slingshot and throw them and hit something with them. I'm just kidding. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. This is Chef Remy. If you get a chance, take a look at my website. It's called thevideocook.com, and there'll be a lot more recipes for biscuits there. Bye-bye.